for the time being. I thanked him and went back to our house. While I was getting comfortable, my phone flooded up with messages from my husband and Laura. I read the messages, and to my horror, my husband was saying I ruined the whole dinner and that he was going to stay there for the night. I then read what Laura said, saying I had ruined her night because of my pick-me behavior. After doing research on that word, it's only filled me up with more anger because I realized that she was the definition of a pick-me. My husband came home around 5 p.m. from Laura's, and I immediately said that leaving your wife and staying at another woman's house was disgusting, and he started shouting that I'm overreacting again and that I need to go to counseling for my jealousy issues. For about a month, my husband got more distant and cold, and I could feel that our argument wedged a gap in our marriage. Things were definitely on the downhill slope, and although we were not having arguments or anything of the sort, I could feel that things were very tense around the house. We barely spoke, we definitely did not have intimacy, and I had to deal with him running off to Laura's about once per week. I bit my tongue, however, and held off, hoping that this was just some time frame within our marriage, and hoping for a light at the end of the tunnel. That was, until I got a message from Laura with a positive pregnancy result, and a threat saying we should get divorced because it's my husband's. I completely froze and honestly had no idea how to react. My husband came home around 6 p.m. that day, to where he threw his keys on the side and went upstairs without saying anything to me. I thought this was a little rude, and I walked up after him telling him we needed to talk, but he said he was tired and needed to sleep, which just made me angry because I was serious. I was borderline crying by this point because I felt so neglected, but I managed to hold my tears in for the time being. I told him halfway up the stairs that I knew about him and Laura, and I expected him to look like a deer in headlights. But to my surprise, he then looked at me confused. I went on to explain my side and the text and what it seemed like, and he ended up laughing in my face. This filled me up with so much petty rage because I had had enough of being walked on, so I pushed past him into our room and got a suitcase from under the bed and started to pack his stuff for him. He started shouting at me saying really horrible things, but I didn't hear most of it since I was crying uncontrollably and busy ramming every item of clothing he